Jeff, how are you doing?
Well, I can think of many better ways to head into a weekend, but I'll take it.
Well, that's how you're heading into the weekend with Mike Breen, and he told me that today. I spoke to him. He said, what a great way to spend Easter weekend with Jeff. So he's happy he's with you.
Well, that's good. All right. That's good.
Yeah, Mets had a 6-3 road trip.
Yeah, everything's good for you. The Astros beat the Yankees 2 out of 3. Everything in your world is great.
And by the way, we should have swept you guys, Michael. We had the bases loaded in the second in that third game. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe we didn't score.
Yeah, well, maybe because they're not that great. But anyway.
Yeah, maybe. That's another good reason, yes.
Who do you like in the playoffs? I know you talked to on a conference call yesterday, but tell our listeners who you like in the playoffs.
I like Houston to win it. I think whoever comes out of the West will win it. I think Houston has a great path to try to get there. It's going to be excruciating for any team coming out of the West. And I think somehow Indiana's going to get there. And I don't really have great confidence when I say that, but I just think they sort of got it back together against Oklahoma City that last Sunday of the regular season. And I think they'll get it to a 7th game, and I think they'll find a way to beat Miami, but I don't think they can win a championship.
It just bothers me, Jeff, down the stretch. It just didn't seem like anybody was really interested in playing. Seeding didn't seem to matter to anyone. Why?
Listen, you're pitching me a softball, Don. I'm so sick of it. I really am. I mean, we discount the fans so easily in the NBA now. And they spend their hard-earned money, and we not only do we not play them just reduced minutes, which, look, if you want to get guys rest, and instead of playing them 36, you play them 24 or 20. But we don't even play them. And we have teams like the Nets who micro-tank to try to get to Toronto, which they did. So whether it pays off or not is irrelevant to me, but it's the idea that we don't feel a responsibility to our fans to play our players. And the players don't feel a responsibility to their fans to play. Everybody rests. And, so you've got the tanking all season long. You've got the micro-tanking at the end. You've got excessive number of players taking rest when they could play. And this is where I don't think Michael Jordan gets the credit as a player that he's due. Everybody talks about his greatness as a player, which is well known, his will to win, which was incredible and off the charts. But that guy felt a responsibility. He played preseason games. He played 82 regular season games whenever he could because he knew that these fans were coming out to see him, and he didn't want to disappoint them. And I applaud that mentality because, frankly, we don't have it anymore.
I think it's a great point, Jeff, but what worries me is sometimes we bring up great points and there's no solution because when a coach like Greg Popovich does it, and he's so well respected, how could you legislate that you have to pay players or play players? Because they could always say, well, he has a hamstring pull. There's no visible means of a hamstring.
Not. Listen, it's not, I agree with you, Michael, it's not a legislation thing.
It's a responsibility.
It's a responsibility thing. And listen, I understand older players, that truly do need rest versus young players in their prime who just take rest. And again, sometimes, and I've heard coaches and players say this, I've got to do what's best for me. Well, not really. Not really. Sometimes you have to do what's best for the product and for your fans. And see, this is what I think we've lost sight of. The fans are the one that pay the freight. TV money pays the freight. You got to do right by your fans. And again, I think it doesn't have to be total rest. You can have, you can play 18 to 20 minutes in a game and still give the fans a glimpse of you without overextending you. It doesn't have to be sit out an entire game, does it? I mean, I don't know. I just think that we're losing sight of who our consumer is and how important they are to the ultimate product and why everybody's getting paid all the money they're getting paid.
Yeah, see, that's the key, Jeff, and I think that we've lost sight of that. And I've had a lot of discussions with players. Why is all the media around these are important games that distracts us? I said, The media's around because people care, and this is the entertainment industry. If you didn't want media around, then get into curling. You've got your competition, and the media's not going to be around. It's the entertainment industry. It's not the Manhattan Project. People have lost sight of that.
Yeah, and listen, I understand the players' point of view. Listen, sometimes it's a pain in the butt. It is. It's not enjoyable. You just want to sometimes get in a rhythm. And at the same time, everybody has to understand this is why the salaries are so exorbitant.
Yep.
That the media and the rights that they pay for the games and the coverage and all that is what drives the salaries, as do the fans' interests. So, listen, I agree with you. There's no way to legislate it per se, but I think a stern talking to about the importance of the fan and playing our best players is long overdue.